Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Pratiksha Kokate from Department of Botany, Shri Shivaji College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Akola. Today, we will focus on the next topic, that is the practical demonstration of family Caesalpiniaceae from Angiosperm taxonomy. So, family Caesalpiniaceae is also commonly called as the gulmohar family. As the gulmohar plant comes under the family Caesalpiniaceae, this is commonly called as gulmohar family. Now, the plants which comes under the gulmohar family are mostly small trees or large shrubs. Very rarely, this family consists of the herbs. For example, the species of cassia, that is the Cassia tora, which is growing as a wild plants along the roadsides. The plants under this family, they are mostly the mesophytes. Very rarely the xerophytic plants occurs in this family. The example is Parkinsonia. Most of the plants, they are wild in nature, while some of them, they are cultivated for their beautiful flowers and for their timber. Some plants, they are also woody climbers. The example of that is Baunia species. For the practical demonstration, here today we will consider the Caesalpinia pulcherrima plant for the demonstration. So, the habit of Caesalpinia plant is the small tree or large shrub. Very rarely the herbaceous plants, they are observed in the genus Caesalpinia. Most of them, they are large shrubs. Now, these plants, they are perennial in nature. The roots, when we have to describe the plant in technical language, first of all we will go for the vegetative parts of the plant body. In that, the first one is the root. So, root, if it is provided to you, you have to see which type of root is present here. So, the root in this case is the taproot type of root system, and it is having the lateral branches. The next vegetative part of the plant is the stem. The stem is aerial, then it is branched, it is erect. You can see in this photograph I have shown the photograph here. So, the stem is erect, it is aerial in nature as it grows in the air, then it is having the lateral branches. Very rarely it is woody in nature. In case of the small trees, it is woody in nature, while in the shrub conditions it may consist of the herbaceous stems. The stem is cylindrical in its outline, then it is solid in nature, it is having the lateral branches. Sometimes it may shows the herbaceous nature, just now I have explained you, and in case of the climbing, it is mostly having the herbaceous nature. Then the next part is the vegetative part is the leaf. So, leaf, they are compound in nature. Leaves are compound, and they are, you know, all the compound leaves, they are of two different types, that is the compound pinnately compound leaf and palmately compound leaf. But in this case, the leaves, they are pinnately compound leaves, as the pinna or the leaf, it is divided into the small pinnas. So, we call it as a pinnately compound leaf. And in this case, it is having the bipinnate nature, means this is the central axis, and from the central axis you see here the two pinna, they are coming from the on their lateral side. So, as the two pinnas are present on the lateral side of the central axis, we call this as a bipinnately compound leaf. Now, the next important characteristic, you see here the single pinna consists of the small pinnae. So, each is having the lateral pinnae on it, but in this case, as their number of, when we count the number of the pinnae, they are even in number. So, we call it as a peripinnate type of compound leaf, pinnately compound, and it also further described as a peripinnate, as the pinnae which are present there, they are even in number. So, no odd pinnae is present here. So, we call it as a peripinnately compound leaf. Now, about the arrangement, the leaves, they are arranged on the stem in an alternate manner. The stem is having the nodes and internodes, and on this nodes and internodes, the leaves, they are arranged in this manner. They are arranged in an alternate fashion. So, phyllotaxy is alternate. Then the leaf is having a stalk. So, we call the leaf as a petiolate. So, this is the stalk of the leaf, we call it as petiolate. And at the base of the stalk, when you observe it minutely, there is a swollen portion. The swollen portion is seen at the base of the leaf stalk or the petiole. So, that is called as the pulvinus. So, pulvinus is seen, which is the swollen part at the base. So, the pulvinus is present at the base of the petiole. The small stipule is present here. So, it is stipulate in nature. Each pinna is having the shape which is ovate in nature. Its margin is entire, its apex is obtuse, and its surface is glabrous, having the unicostate reticulate venation in each pinna. So, this is about the leaf. Now, we will move on to the reproductive organs, that is the inflorescence. So, inflorescence is nothing but the arrangement of flowers on the axis. How the flowers, they are arranged on the axis, on the basis of that we describe the type of the inflorescence. So, in this case, the inflorescence is of racemose type. Under the racemose, it consists of the flowered arrangement, which is having the younger flowers at the apex and older flowers at the base. So, these are the old flowers and these are the young flowers. So, this type of inflorescence is known as the raceme inflorescence. And as this inflorescence is coming from the axil of the leaf, it is arising from the axil of the leaf, we call it as axillary racemely inflorescence. Then we will move on to the single flower. So, this is the photograph of single flower. So, the single flower is, first of all we have to see, is it having the stalk or not. If the stalk is present, we call the flower as a pedicellate flower. Then at the base of the pedicel, there may be presence of small foliaceous extension, which is called as the bract. So, bract is present here. So, we call it as a bracteate type of flower. As in this case, the bracteoles, they are totally absent. So, we call it as a ebracteolate. Bract is present, hence we call it as bracteate, but bracteole is not present, so we call it as ebracteolate. As the flower consists of all the whorls, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, so we call the flower as a complete. All the whorls consist of the members which are 5 in number, in the multiple of 5, hence we call it as a pentamerous flower. As the flower consists of the sepals and petals which are having the irregular shapes, each sepal is not of same size and shape, so the flower is not actinomorphic, it is zygomorphic nature due to the irregular shapes of the petals and sepals. So, as it consists of both androecium and gynoecium whorl, we call the flower as a bisexual or hermaphrodite flower. As in this case, the ovary is present above the thalamus and all other members, they are coming from the lower part of the ovary. The ovary is superior in nature, we call it this flower as a hypogynous type of flower. You all know, you have seen this flower. So, it is a showy flower, it is very attractive in its color and having the bright coloration, that is reddish yellow in color. Then we will move on to the next whorl, that is the first whorl of the flower, calyx, which consists of sepals which are 5 in number. They are free from one another, so they are called as the polysepalous. They, in this case, the sepals, they are petaloid in nature. Petaloid means they are having the structure which is somewhat thick, and its color is not green here. It is having the color which is like that of the petals, that is reddish yellow in color. So, they are called as the petaloid in nature, and the posterior petal is having the large size, and its estivation is imbricate. Sometimes you may also observe it as a valvate. The imbricate type of estivation is present in the calyx whorl. Then regarding the next whorl, that is corolla, which consists of the petals which are 5 in number, all of them they are free from one another. So, we will describe it as a polypetalous condition. The estivation here is also imbricate. Now, in case of the imbricate type of estivation, one member is outer, one member is inner, and 3 of them they are overlapping with each other. So, this is the arrangement which is seen in both the case, that is in case of the sepals as well as in case of the petals. Here also the posterior petal which is present innermost in the bud, and its position is inferior. It is having the specific structure which is consisting of the limb like structure at the base and claw like structure at the apex. So, it is showy, it is very bright in color and attractive in its shape. So, we will move on to the next. The next whorl is the androecium whorl. So, androecium whorl you all know consists of the number of stamens. The stamens they are 10 in number. When we count the number of stamens, we will see the numbers they are 10 in number. They are arranged in a 2 whorls. So, 5 plus 5. In the inner whorl, 5 stamens are present. In the outer whorl, 5 stamens are present. They are free from one another. When they are free from one another, we call that condition as a polyandrous condition. They are not united with each other, they are not united with the petals. So, we call them as a polyandrous condition. You can see in this photo, I have shown the number of stamens they are present. Now, the stamens they are further divided into the filament and anther lobe. So, filaments here they are slender, long, while the anthers they are diathecous in nature. So, this is the position of the anthers. They are dorsifixed and they are introse, means pointing towards the center of the flower. The next whorl is gynoecium, which consists of carpel. You all know. In this case, the important thing which is the characteristic is the presence of single carpel. So, that condition is known as monocarpellary. Mono means one and presence of carpel is single here. Hence, we call the gynoecium as a monocarpellary gynoecium. Its ovary position is superior, then it is unilocular in nature. The placentation is marginal. We will see this in detail when we draw the diagram for the floral diagram of this. Then style is long. So, this is the single gynoecium I have shown here. So, this is the stalk, thalamus, which is cup shaped. This is the ovary portion which is green in color. This curved part is the style, and at the apex there is presence of the stigma. So, stigma is capitate, the style is long and curved here, and this is the greenish colored portion is the ovary, which is somewhat elongated and present on the cup shaped thalamus. Then the next part is the fruit. In this figure I have shown you the fruit. The fruits they are legume, and they are not having any stalk, so they are sessile in nature, and legume comes under the dry dehiscent type of fruit. So, it dehisces with the help of 2 whorls. So, dry dehiscent type of fruit that is legume is the characteristic of Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Then next we will move on to the floral diagram. Now, in this floral diagram you can see this is the mother axis, which is the important part of the floral diagram which we have to draw first of all. Then the next is calyx. Green colored portion is the calyx, red color portion is the corolla whorl, orange colored portion is androecium whorl, and this is the gynoecium. Dark green colored portion which is shown here is the bract. Now, calyx whorl consists of the sepals. In this case, the sepals, they are 5 in number. So, 5 number of sepals is present here. They are free from one another. So, it is polysepalous condition, and the estivation which is seen here is the imbricate. Imbricate means one inner, one outer, and 3 of them they are overlapping with each other. Then in case of the corolla, petals 5, polypetalous, they are not united, so they are polypetalous in nature, and the estivation here is again imbricate. Imbricate means again one is inner, one is outer, and 3 are overlapping with each other. So, that is the imbricate estivation. Then androecium whorl, 10 stamens which are arranged in 2 whorls of 5 plus 5, and this stamens, they are free from one another. So, they are polyandrous in condition, they are dithecous, dorsifixed. So, this is about the androecium whorl. Then in the center there is presence of the gynoecium, which consists of the carpels. So, carpel, their number here is only 1. So, the condition is monocarpellary condition, ovary superior, and placentation is marginal. As the ovule is coming from we will describe the placentation in detail here. So, you see here, this is the transverse section of the ovary, which is showing the ovary wall, then locule and ovule, and this is the placenta. Stalk of the ovule is the placenta. Yellow colored portion is the ovule, then white is the locule, and this is the ovary wall. Now, you see here the placenta or the stalk of the ovule is present only coming from the margin of the ovary wall. So, here the placentation is known as the marginal placentation. Now, in this transverse section of the ovary, you see here there is only presence of only one ovule, but when you go for the counting the number of the seeds in the fruit of this plant, number of seeds they are present here, and all of them they are arranged on the margin of this ovule. So, the placentation is marginal in nature. So, this is about the floral diagram of the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Now, we will see the floral formula. Now, you all know the bract is present, so we call it as bracteate. Bracteole is not present, so we call it as ebracteolate. Bracteoles are absent. The size and shapes of the calyx and corolla whorls, the members, that is sepals and petals respectively, they are not the same, they are irregular in nature. So, we call the flower as a zygomorphic flower. As both the whorls, that is gynoecium and androecium, they are present, we will describe the flower as bisexual, and we will draw it in this way. Now, about the calyx and corolla whorl, the calyx whorl is represented by K, having the 5 number. Now, they are shown here, they are 5 and they are free from one another. Corolla 5 in number, free from one another, that is polypetalous condition. Then here in the androecium we have to write again 5, that is A, 5 plus 5 condition is there. Then gynoecium, only one carpel, that is monocarpellary superior ovary is present. So, this is about the floral formula which shows you the representation of the floral structure of this particular family, that is Caesalpiniaceae, and the genus from the Caesalpiniaceae, that is the Caesalpinia pulcherrima. Now next we will see its classification. Before the classification you should have to go for the identifying characters. Now the characters which seen in the plant, why we placed it under the phanerogams, angiosperms, dicotyledons, polypetalae, caliciflori, order Rosalis and family Caesalpiniaceae. Now as the plants, it consists of the seeds, so we place it under the phanerogams. As these flowers are present in the in the plant, we call the plant as a angiospermic plant. The plants is having the reticulate venation, taproot system and 2 number of cotyledons in it. We placed it under the dicotyledons. Why we placed it under the polypetalae? Because the petals, they are free from one another. Polypetalous condition is seen, so we call it as a placed it under the polypetalae. Caliciflori, because the flower consists of the cup-shaped thalamus, and in the cup-shaped thalamus the ovary is present, and the other parts of the flowers, they are coming from it, so it comes under the calciflori. Order Rosalis is having the characteristic, it consists of the monocarpellary gynoecium, so and also the presence of alternate type of phyllotaxy, so it comes under the Rosalis. Then Caesalpiniaceae is having the marginal placentation, with the marginal placentation is one of the important character in case of the family Caesalpiniaceae, and also the zygomorphic flower, presence of 10 stamens in 2 whorls of 5 each. These are all the characteristic features of family Caesalpiniaceae. So with this we have completed the family Caesalpiniaceae demonstration. So thank you.